The Buffalo Bills just signed a former four-star recruit coming out of high school who played all of his ball at Maryland, a Big Ten school. We've got to talk about him. His name is Tommy A. We're going to break down his prospect profile. We'll give some context of why this signing is happening, but also some pros, some cons, some different things, and frankly, also just how to say his name. It's not Tommy A. We'll see it in a second. But my name is Colin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills, no breaks. Every single day, breaking down Buffalo Bills content. Excited to be here. I'm in Dallas, shooting these videos, recording these videos. It's not quite light outside yet, but hey, excited to be here to break down this video and to break down this new signing that the Buffalo Bills just made. So stick with me. Lots to talk about today. The first thing I want to get into right here is the context. The context of this signing comes with the backdrop of Ed Oliver, of course, destroying his bicep in the game. Freak accident, terrible move. I saw on Twitter some people were saying that it was Taylor Rapp's fault. I don't think that's true, but hey, it was funny. Jordan Poyer, Jordan Phillips also promoted to the active roster. We saw Jordan Phillips have a big game this last week, and I believe Jordan Poyer had like 44% of the snaps. So even though Max Hairston was in there, even though Taylor Rapp was out, ironically, we had Cole Bishop back there. We had a lot of Jordan Hancock back there playing good ball. But again, Poyer and Phillips now actively on the roster, not just practice squad call-ups anymore, but fully on there, which is fine. But associated with all of those moves is the addition of this guy who we're going to talk about today, and his name is Tommy A. Of course, Brandon Beane, right after these moves, brings in Tommy A, brings in a couple other nose tackles, defensive tackles, but then moves forward and is going to sign this guy who, again, his name is Tommy A, but the pronunciation of his name is actually Aking Basote. Aking Basote is how you pronounce his name. Everybody say it with me at once, but no. No trade, no headline grabber, not some like massive, we just traded the world to get some, Aaron Donald type of player. That's not who this guy is. This is a former 7th round guy who we're going to talk about. We're about to break down his prospect profile. But he's not this Sports Center, ESPN headline breaking talent. But he's a guy who's going to have some stability for our roster. Again, I believe he's just signed to active or the practice squad. I believe that's what we're seeing. But again, when Ed Oliver hits IR, you don't chase necessarily stars. You want to rebuild wisely and consistently, especially given the cap situation for our team. But again, today I want to break it down, and I want to start talking about his background and, of course, his prospect profile as well. But he grew up in Prince George country in Maryland, and he actually was a basketball player, and he's a pretty tall guy. We'll talk about his size in a moment, but he played basketball, but then basically realized he's not going to get any scholarships coming out of high school with basketball, so he flipped and he started playing football, and then he gets labeled as this top 20 prospect as a defensive tackle in the nation, and then comes in to Maryland, plays 44 games, and plays decent football. He was a full-time starter by 2024, and he was, for the Terps, he was a good player. Again, Big Ten football, not necessarily your SEC brand, but you know what? A Big Ten's right there with him. Fast forward to the draft, he was picked in the 7th round by the Dallas Cowboys. Which is fine. He was let go in the spring, which, again, context I think matters. He was let go in the spring by the Cowboys and then brought in by the Panthers, and the Panthers basically let him go as well. But if you look at both of the interior defensive lines of those teams, outside of a few injuries, they've got some decent depth on those rosters. And so this guy, I think, still has some potential upside. He's a young player, again, just drafted recently. He's like 22 years old, but his physical profile is pretty interesting. Stick with me on this one. He is 6'4", about just over 300 pounds, 306 pounds, 3 foot or 33 inch arms, 33 and a half inch arms. Again, he's kind of a shorter, stockier run defender. He's not a big pass rush guy, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but he's got some player comps to even some guys on our roster. Just to give you context, again, he is 6'4", 306 pounds, and he's basically the exact same size as Daquan Jones, who himself is like 6'4", about 310, 315, 320. Larry Okajobi, who is 6'2", 305, a little bit lighter guy, but then Jordan Phillips is also a 6'6", 341 kind of player on the interior defensive line. Tommy A ran a 50940 coming out, and he also had like a 28-inch jump, or a 28-inch vertical. And again, it's nothing freakish. It's nothing that's going to blow our socks off. He's not going to be this interior pass rush guy, but he has shown that he can be a run stuffer, which is really what we need. We don't need this guy to come in on third and long. We don't need this guy to come in really even on first downs, but occasionally cycling him in maybe at some point if he makes the active roster to come in on those second and shorts and to force and to push a third down and be a rotational piece, which keeps the other guys fresh, is really where we're going to see advantage come from a signing like this. But the Bills love their linemen with leverage, that win with leverage, that live with discipline, and that win with like motor. But again, that's Tommy A to a T. He's not some like dynamic interior pass rusher, but the defensive line has been bleeding, and this guy is going to come in and he's going to offer us, I think, more consistency and more rotational options going in. Of course, we lost Dwayne Carter already this year to the Achilles. Now we've lost Ed Oliver with the bicep. We have lost TJ Sanders, who's currently out indefinitely. For a game, I believe we lost Deion Walker as well. Of course, he's healthy. He's back in. Daquan Jones, again, with the calf injury. Other teams are averaging like over 5 yards per carry. Last time I checked, it was 5.2. I didn't check it for this video, but it's been consistently bad. Okunjobi is just getting in and getting reps. So we know that Michael Hoyt can play 3-tech because of his rare size, speed, and even talent composition. But in all of that, we still need people to play 3-tech. Yes, Jordan Phillips is in. He just had a decent game. But none of that really matters if we can't have a high level of rotation because we're going to experience more injuries. This is the football season. We're only going into week 9 this upcoming week. We need really consistent players and really consistent trenches to win games down the stretch, especially as the colder weather is coming. It's only a matter of time till it snows. It's only a matter of time till the ground game becomes more impactful and the trenches become more of an opportunity or more of a benefit for us to be leveraged or really lost. But again, Tommy A is coming in and he's a gap anchor. He's not a player that's going to necessarily push the pocket forward or get after the quarterback, but he's a guy who could stop the run. And really, all he's trying to do is create leverage opportunities for maybe a Deion Walker or leverage opportunities really for a linebacker to come in. He's going to probably fight maybe some double teams with the center and the guard on him. He's going to play 3-tech. You're not going to put him out wide. He doesn't have the explosiveness to play a 5-tech. Maybe we'll see him played as a nose tackle in some regard. That's just not really our scheme. But he's hopefully going to free up linebackers to actually make the plays, to actually make the tackles. It's not about sacks with this signing. It's about stability. It's not about the massive, again, interior pressure that he could cause. He's not some massive explosive athlete with weak legs. Like, this is a strong, sturdy, stocky guy who's really going to hold down the fort when it comes to the run defense, which is really what we want. So three quick positives here. He's going to add more run defense depth. Whether we activate him in the practice squad or elevate him a couple times, we'll see. This is not a long-term move, I don't think. But one thing to acknowledge with this move is that he's 22 years old. When we brought Jordan Phillips in the summer, we were like, oh man, like, we love Jordan Phillips. We love what he could bring, but like, we wish we had like 27-year-old Jordan Phillips instead of like 30 whatever year old Jordan Phillips we have because of the potential developmental arc. Now, we get that with this guy who's unproven, who's a rookie. He's not necessarily flashy, and he's not a retread of an old vet, but he is a guy who could come in with low ego. He could come in and potentially be a player who grows and who succeeds long term and could be a cheaper option down the stretch for us. But we'll see. I'm not really at this point. I can't be overly positive about him. We haven't seen anything, but also I think culture fit. This is a guy who's coming in with little ego. Again, say what you want about McDermott right now. He's a culture fit to what McDermott wants out of a player. But I've also got some concerns. He's got very limited pass rush juice. I've been talking about that four or five times already. He is not going to push the pocket forward, and he is not going to get after the quarterback unless he gets off a he's probably not even going to get double teams. I'll just be honest. It's probably going to be Deion Walker for the foreseeable future that's getting these double teams. Hopefully Daquan Jones can get back. Hopefully Larry Okunjobi can stay healthy. But his pad level has been an issue, which is the same issue that we had with Deion Walker coming out. Once he got that set, Deion Walker, he's just been a really, really dominant player on the interior side of the defensive line. But again, when he pops up right, Tommy A, when he pops up right, he could be really weak. He loses his leverage and his advantage. But three, again, is the experience gap. He has not played in a single active NFL game. He played in the preseason a handful of times, I think, with the Cowboys, or a couple times with the Cowboys. But again, not anything you're necessarily super excited about at this point. So in that, this isn't a Sports Center headline. This isn't some breaking Twitter move, but this is a move that Brandon Beane is very quickly trying to add support into, or a position group that Brandon Beane is trying to add support to very, very quickly. Hopefully that is going to be helpful. Buffalo getting deeper in the trenches going into the winter months is good, is helpful. Of course, we wish we could live in a world where Ed Oliver didn't tear his bicep, but he did, and so we've got to move forward. And so our front office is making decisions to hopefully put us back in a position to succeed, even if it means that we don't have the level of talent, the level of ceiling that we had with Ed Oliver. The season's not over. We're 5-2. We're going to a big game this upcoming week. We'll see how that looks. But again, in all of it, my name is Colin. This is Crack the Table, where all Bills, no breaks, every single day, breaking down Buffalo Bills content. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you have a great day. God bless. Go Bills. See you later.